This episode of the LCTV News is brought to you by Encompass Health, North Shore Community College, Leo Inc., Brotherhood Credit Union, and Daoulas Brothers Construction.
Good morning and welcome back to the LCTV News. We have much to cover this week, spanning from community festivals to visits from state representatives. The Lowdown invited another group, Mutt Society, which originated in a neighboring state but has expanded to work with several organizations in the city, providing free bikes for kids. Let's jump right in with the news for Friday, August 16th, 2024. The city of Lynn is wrapping up the summer by bringing back a fan favorite, free movie nights. A large crowd gathered at Goldfish Pond for a screening of the 2023 blockbuster Barbie, along with free popcorn, glow sticks, and snacks.
Welcome to Goldfish Pond. We're all excited to host the Lynn Movie Night Series number 2. We're excited to see families and neighbors and visitors coming to our beautiful pond here in Ward 3. I also would like to thank the Mayor's Office and our Community Development, DPW, Lisa and Eric, and Allison are here.
I love being down here. I love Barbie. I love popcorn.
I love movies.
So this is extra exciting. Sandy Corneau, which is the Ward 3 prison captain of this area, is preparing free items for the kids and adults alike. We have popcorns, we have juices, we have water, cold water, glow sticks, snacks, assorted of candies, for everyone to enjoy. As you can see, there's a lot of people now preparing for the movie. As soon as everybody's set up, then we can start the movie and everybody's excited for it.
I'm excited to see Barbie. I like Barbie, that's why I'm wearing a Barbie dress and I like Barbie movies.
This is a citywide event. You'll see us everywhere. There'll be more movie night events happening all over the city, and I encourage everyone to participate.
The City of Lynn is looking to make the community more accessible for all with the creation of an inclusive health coalition. Those with disabilities and mobility issues are invited to join, where they can help steer inclusionary projects and ensure that inclusivity is a staple in community health planning. The coalition will have a 12-step process to assist communities and organizations in creating new or altering existing healthcare programs to be inclusive for those with disabilities. Members will meet regularly and are responsible for recruiting new members, facilitating surveys, discussing data, and directing project decisions. They will receive a small stipend and will be a diverse group of individuals, caregivers, and community leaders with lived experience. A survey conducted earlier in 2024, which assessed the physical activity, healthy eating, and community resources in Lynn, will be reviewed and analyzed in the second year of this grant. Additional requirements include periodic check-ins with the Mass Department of Public Health and NCHPAD to discuss projects, training from the NCHPAD and Mass DPH on racial justice and disability rights. Senator Markey made the trip to LCHC's Recuperative Care Center in recognition of National Health Week. Accompanied by Mayor Nicholson, LCHC's CEO, and several employees, Markey took a tour of the center and corresponding mobile health van.
On August 8th, Senator Ed Markey visited the Lynn Community Health Center's Recuperative Care Center as part of National Health Center Week. Mayor Nicholson joined the senator for a tour of the facility to learn more about the work the health center is doing and awareness to advocate for funding. Named after Deborah Smith Walsh, longtime employee of the health center who fought for funding, the Recuperative Care Center works with unhoused and underhoused people with transitional assistance, substance use assistance, behavioral health, and more. It is one of 2 programs like it in the state, with other centers looking to replicate.
The Lynn Community Health Center is a model for the rest of the country. It has over 250,000 visits a year here in the city of Lynn. And the Deborah Smith Walsh Recuperative Center is a special subcategory of healthcare that Lynn is leading the nation in ensuring that it is provided to the citizens of Lynn, but I think also ultimately will be a model for the rest of the country.
After the tour, Senator Markey also inspected the Lynn Community Health Center's new mobile medical van. It will be used at different sites throughout the city to meet people where they are to receive various forms of care.
I wanted to come here because I work hard to get the funding for the Lynn Community Health Center, and I'm only further reinforced in my desire, my energy to make sure the funding comes in at even greater numbers in the years to come.
The U.S. Department of Housing and Urban Development's fiscal year notice of funding has come through for the 2024-25 fiscal year, Continuum of Care, Competition, and Renewal or Replacement of Youth Homelessness Demonstration Program grants. Through this program, the Lynn Continuum of Care is offering another round of grants to prevent homelessness in the city. In order to be eligible, new programs must offer, quote, permanent supportive housing for chronically homeless and other specific high-risk populations, rapid rehousing, joint transitional housing and rapid rehousing, coordinated entry, and a homelessness management information system, end quote. Applicants serving victims of domestic violence, dating violence, sexual assault, or stalking will also be considered. Renewing projects must indicate their intent by August 21st, 2024. Both new and renewing projects must submit a letter of intent and completed applications by September 13th. Celebrations took over the city on the 10th with the 2024 Arts and Culture Festival. Spanning across half a dozen locations, each with their own unique contributions, residents could experience all Lynn has to offer. From observing the sun at High Rock Tower, to student art at Raw Artworks, to the open galleries of the Lynn Museum, here is an overview of the day.
The 2024 Lynn Arts and Culture Festival featured activities across several locations around downtown Lynn, all connected via a free trolley. The first stop of the day for the LCTV crew was High Rock Tower.
Downstairs we have an ice cream truck, we have glitter tattoos as well, so people can get off the trolley and enjoy those downstairs. And then for those that want to have a bit of an adventure, they can come up inside the tower and see the inside of the tower, which has nice viewing platforms, as well as this nice 12-inch Schmidt-Cassegrain telescope. We also have a solar telescope attached to it, and so with both of these telescopes we're looking at sunspots.
After High Rock, we jumped on the trolley, which featured free music, to head down to Central Square. There we had many choices of what to do next, but walked past art on the traffic island to Raw Artworks, where they were showing off artwork from their students and inviting everyone to share their dreams.
We are excited to be able to invite people to do some creative dreaming with us. They're being invited to help us create a coloring page that expresses all of the dreams that people have for the city of Lynn. This is the Dream Portal. The idea is that folks can step inside and share a dream that they have for the city of Lynn. Lynn is changing a lot right now, and we want folks' dreams and voices to be a part of shaping that change.
After Raw, we went down to the studios at the Lynn Museum and Art Center to check out their latest exhibit and art making.
Today at the galleries at Lynn Arts, we are your local lemonade stand during the Lynn Arts and Culture Festival. We got 2 flavors. This is actually the last week of our Lore of the Local exhibition, which is dedicated to all the sights, sounds of the North Shore, predominantly the Lynn area. It's a great way to get familiar with the city of Lynn through art. We have our art bar set up behind us where people are walking in, grabbing art supplies, sitting down at a table and making some art that they can take home with them for the day.
Speaking of making art, Beyond Walls has had artists creating murals yet again this year.
Our mission is to activate public spaces to strengthen communities. But what we're most known for and renowned for is putting up really large-scale epic pieces of street art. So the tours today are part of what Beyond Walls does, which is offering tours to the public and tours to youth groups of the street art of the city that we've been installing since 2017, of not just the existing artwork, but some of the new artwork that's actually underway here in the city. We point out and talk about the other art and cultural establishments that are here in the city that make the city so great.
Across from one of the new murals in Central Square was the Lynn Museum, our last stop of the day. Here, the museum was open with free admission and featured an art fair in the connecting park.
Welcome to the museum here at 590 Washington Street. Today we are open as part of the Lynn Arts and Culture Festival, as well as our second Saturday series. So we are free and open today for folks to explore our gallery spaces. We also have an art making activity for families and anyone that wants to participate. And then if you happen to wander into our park, we're hosting a vendor fair organized by Lynn Main Streets. So great place to buy locally made goods. It's always a highlight for the summer. So we're a longtime partner, and we're glad that we can continue to support this effort. A happy Lynn Arts and Culture Festival, and we'll see you next summer.
Lynn Main Street's plans to hold this event every year in early August, so keep your eyes peeled next summer for the next installment.
Keeping with the theme of summer fun, the Lynn Music Foundation put on a Lynn Music Festival set against the backdrop of Red Rock Park. Music covering a wide variety of genres could be heard for most of the afternoon, and the best part, it featured all local talent and artists from right here in the city. Take a look.
Hello, how's it going? I'm Edwin Cabrera of the Lynn Music Foundation. We are here at Red Rock Park. It's August 11th, and we are celebrating the first annual Lynn Music Festival.
We are Katie.
And Elicit.
That was backwards, too, right? We had a great time playing here today at the Lynn Music Festival. A great turnout. The great support from the community, so it was a really great time.
Like a perfect day for a great weather, great atmosphere, perfect.
And this is a festival that we hope continues every year. This being the first one is our inaugural one. And we wanted to make sure we did it big. And so we had an eclectic taste of different music. So we have jazz on right now. We had some rock bands playing, some soul music. We had some Dominican drumming and also some hip hop. So it's a little bit of everything. This is what we want to bring as far as the Lynn Music Festival, is a taste of every flavor of music. So that people at Red Rock Park around the beach can enjoy some beautiful music with some beautiful atmosphere.
Longtime Lynn resident. It's amazing to see the Lynn Music Foundation putting on great shows here at this beautiful park in Red Rock. We appreciate you. Come on down for year 2.
For those that didn't make it out, y'all need to come on out and join us, because this is what it is.
Thank you so much. Not bad, pretty good. We appreciate you. Love you all.
The Healy-Driscoll administration announced it will be awarding $265,000 to 9 school districts, including Lynn, to build and promote digital literacy and computer science education. This decision comes following a state STEM summit, which focused on computer science education and career paths. The Lynn Public School District will receive just over $44,000 through this 3-year grant. Additionally, districts will create DLCS implementation plans, receive materials, and send teachers to summer professional development, where they will learn techniques to best teach computer science the following school year. Most importantly, the district will also be involved in workshops focused on increasing participation rates for traditionally underserved students. Lynn is also benefiting from another state program. This time it's $123,000 from the $1 million Greening the Gateway Cities implementation grant. The goal of this program is to increase the tree cover canopy in urban residential areas as a way of decreasing household heating and cooling energy use. According to the EEA, longer-running heat waves continue to cause higher cooling bills and greater greenhouse gas emissions. Through this greening grant, residents will receive the state resources and encouragement to plant more trees and enhance public health. Since the launch of GGCP in Lynn, 2,000 trees have already been planted, while the latest round of funding will provide 80 new tree pits and 100 new public trees beginning this fall. This new planting will focus on areas with lower tree canopies, higher heat, larger population density, and the room to add more trees, as explained by Lynn's Urban Forestry Fellow, Erica Holm. The ultimate goal through GGCP is to plant 5 trees per acre. Following the same routes, Lynn officially designated August 14th as Liberty Tree Day in recognition of the first public shade tree planted here in 1646. Members of the community gathered for the planting of a new tree on the common to commemorate the significance of trees in the community.
So we're here to celebrate Liberty Tree Day, and I understand that Liberty Tree Day has a quite interesting history in marking some of the first public shade trees planted in the city of Boston, bringing the forest into the city because of all the amazing benefits that trees provide. In modern day, it's help in helping us deal with the rise of carbon emissions, and just that they look incredible. Whereas the Commonwealth of Massachusetts proclaimed August 14th to be called Liberty Tree Day for all its citizens to celebrate, and whereas Liberty Tree Day is recognized to commemorate the planting of the first public shade tree in the New World in the year 1646 near Boston Neck, where many of the settlers of the New World would gather under the elm tree to discuss unfair policies passed by British tyranny in preparation for the founding of a new nation.
The Liberty Tree was more than just a meeting spot. It was a symbol of unity, courage, and unyielding spirit of those who sought to break free from tyranny. Similar trees and gathering places sprung up across the colonies, fostering a sense of shared purpose among the people. The Liberty Tree reminds us that freedom is not just a gift, but a responsibility, requiring vigilance and courage to protect and preserve.
Due to its likelihood of starting protests, this led that Liberty Tree to become a symbol of American freedom and a testament to the right of people to peacefully assemble. Whereas Lynn has been recognized as a Tree City USA for 34 years running, which recognizes cities which maintain a healthy tree canopy, hold a tree border department, have community tree ordinances, spend at least $2 per capita on urban forestry, and celebrate Arbor Day, all of which are standards that the city of Lynn meets and actively works to improve for the future of urban forestry in the city of Lynn. Now therefore, I, Jared C. Nicholson, Mayor of the City of Lynn, hereby proclaim August 14, 2024 as Liberty Tree Day and encourage all Lynners to learn more about the history of Liberty Tree and participate fittingly in its observance.
1, 2, 3, trees!
Youth aged 14 to 22 have the opportunity to explore potential careers and jobs through a 16-week paid after-school program. LifeScene's Project Success is accepting applications, giving youth a window into creating educational goals, field trips to local businesses, engaging in service projects, as well as externship placements. Each week, students would spend Mondays, Wednesdays, and Fridays at LifeScene from 3 to 5:30 p.m. But on Tuesdays and Thursdays, they would be at their individual externship placement from 3 to 5. Through this program, they will gain skills in financial literacy, civic education, and hands-on experience in the workforce. For those interested, a letter of recommendation must be submitted along with a completed application by September 6th at 5 p.m. In the box, the sports update. The Sox are continuing their up-and-down series. Most recently, they secured a series victory over the visiting Texas Rangers. In a 10-inning thriller, Brian Bayo went 6 innings, only giving up 4 hits and 1 run. Despite only putting up 9 hits in the game, the Sox were also the recipient of 9 walks, including 5 in the 5th for 2 runs. In extras, Rob Refsnyder was the hero, knocking the ball to deep left field to score Cedar Rafaela for the walk-off victory. Refsnyder had another strong night in the Sox 9-4 victory on the 13th, contributing a 2 RBI single to a 5-run 5th. Connor Wong posted the rest with a 3-run Johnson into the monster. The highlight, though, was pitcher Cutter Crawford, who kept a no-hitter going through 5 innings. In fact, it was a 1-0 game until the Sox broke through in the bottom of that inning. The Rangers made it close, scoring 4 of their own in the 6th, but a 3-run 8th locked up the win, courtesy of hits by Nick Sogard and Romy Gonzalez. They were unable to pull off the sweep, however, falling on the losing end of an extra inning 9-7 final. The Lowdown this week is more unique, as it features a group based in New Hampshire, but they have partnered with Pathways and other organizations in the city to provide free bikes for youth. The Mutt Society was founded with the goal of providing gear to all those who wish to ride, but do not have the means or access to do so. Take a look to learn more about their origins and passion for the outdoors. Good afternoon. Welcome back to Lynn Lowdown. I'm Danny Vittori, and today I have on a very different guest, the co-founder of Mutt Society. Thanks for joining us today.
Thank you for having me.
Great. So real quick, could you just introduce yourself? And I personally hadn't really heard of your organization until I saw it on social media. So would you be able to kind of tell people a bit more about it?
Yeah, so I'm the co-founder of the Mutt Society. We were founded in 2016. We do a lot of different things, but one of our main tenets is getting kids on bikes. And, you know, there's an extensive story of how that all came to be, but our biggest initiative for the last 3 years has been focused on Lynn, getting children of the Pathways program on bicycles every summer.
And that connects back to really some of your mission statements, introducing bikes and a trail love things. So can you explain a little bit about why you think that's so important for kids to have?
Yeah, it's always an interesting question. People ask why you're not giving food or money, and there are those organizations and they're incredible, and it is more of a, you know, a vital priority sometimes, but we also feel very strongly that the 2 wheels that a bicycle offers is just something that gives freedom for kids, the ability to have transportation, so some functional benefits. And then mental health is obviously a big topic these days, and I think some of that freedom and transportation and the fun of it, connecting with friends and all of that gives a really valuable aspect to childhood. We don't only focus on kids, so we do get some adults on bikes when they you know, don't have the ability to have other transportation. And then the last thing just about the bikes, which I always think is so interesting, is that when we say kids on bikes, I think people think a small child, but it's really 0 to 18. And every year we teach 16, 17, 18-year-old how to ride a bike, and they've just never had the opportunity. They've never owned a bike themselves. It's really interesting. So a lot of us have grown up in this community and in my community with bicycles being something that they don't particularly think is out of the ordinary. But when you've never had it, it is a really cool, big thing for an individual.
Oh yeah, it can be a huge deal. And I am curious, how did you get connected with Pathways? You mentioned those are the children that you give the bikes to.
Someone on our board, Tanya Lilick from Swampscott, she used to be on the board at Pathways and made that introduction, and then her and her family do a ton leading up to that drive, collecting bikes, reaching out to sponsors, and helping during the day just organize it. So her and then the Pathways team are rather well connected, and it was just a perfect opportunity to have kind of a poignant, pointed initiative in the community.
And you're a totally grassroots organization, so all the bikes, everything's donated, is that correct?
Yeah, it's a mixture of donations and new purchases. It's basically all year. Just this year, it used to be in my basement. My wife was fine with it, but it was funny. But we just got a storage container, so all year, let's say, for an example, 2003 and 2004, leading up to the event, people would drop off bikes. We would go around Facebook Marketplace and gather bikes. And then the last couple weeks, Pathways puts a list together of the kids, their height, their age, and so we match as many bikes as we can. And then the last couple weeks, we'll purchase some new bikes, or have, this year we had a last minute donation of $2,000 that helped just kind of fill in some of the gaps. So, yeah.
And how many bikes did you give out this past year?
So it's an interesting fact that people don't realize is that in order to get, we did 130 bikes, but in order to get 130 kids on bikes, all different sizes, and sometimes they request a different, specific kind, you have to gather around 200, 250 bikes. So the amount of bikes that we gathered and have a good start for the 2005 season too, was a lot higher, but I think 130 kids grabbed bikes on, was it June 15th?
I mean, that was what I saw, I think, on social media, and it looked amazing.
Yeah, I try to lead the organization, or co-lead it with my partner Andrew, with as little stress as possible. We all have, the whole board has their own, full-time jobs. Right. And I don't want to stress people out when they're looking for donations for us or dropping anything off. But it does get a little, it just gets, there's a little anxiety. Is it going to work this time? Josh and I went back and forth. He's the gentleman from Pathways, and he's like, do you think you're going to be able to do it? And, yeah, we got this. But it was like, I wonder if we can. But the moment that you pull up into the Pathways parking lot and you start unloading those bikes, and then you start seeing the kids come in, there's like tears in eyes. It's just the most incredible thing. And like you started off with, it's bikes. It's not it's not shelter. It's not food. So there are things that are very amazing that other people focus on, but there is just something really special about the bikes. It's incredible. So.
And like you said, if people have always had a bike or a waiting room, they may not think of it as a big deal, but you seem to have found that almost that hole or a gap to say, no, this can be a huge deal for these kids.
Yeah, it's very interesting how many children you meet that just don't have the opportunity to have a bicycle. And it is something that I never thought of once. I mean, I think my first bike I was given maybe at Christmas. Second bike, I mowed a bunch of lawns to get my dream bike or whatever. But any of those little opportunities, now you realize are things that some people don't have. And it's and people don't realize that. When you say, hey, I taught an 18-year-old how to ride a bike the other day and gave them their first bike in their life, they're like, oh my goodness, that's a thing, Yeah. So yeah, it is cool.
And you mentioned you've been really focused on Lynn in the last few years. Has there been any other initiatives or people that you've partnered with?
Yeah, we've done some seed work with the Lawrence School District, and just having conversations, doing a couple group rides, nothing as extensive. And then we did make a connection between GT Bikes and the Framingham School District. They were having a challenge with some of the bus system was not available for every kid, and their absentee numbers were pretty high.
Mm-hmm.
And so we didn't fund it, but we made some connections and kind of helped lead that initiative to get 200 bikes for kids down there too. So people usually ask, like, how do you choose where you put your time and effort and money? Yeah. And up to this point, it's been very serendipitous. It hasn't been a very planned thing. It's been people that have made connections and we've said yes and then made things happen. We're not extremely well funded. So, you know, any funding just expands what we can do. But right now we're kind of just focused on that Lynn event and smaller initiatives that come up during the year.
Like you said, sometimes just the connections, that's a great way to build your network, and it doesn't have to be all planned. Sometimes it's just you see a need and you go try to help as best you can.
Yeah, that's perfectly said. Yeah.
And I will ask, I'm just curious, could you do, again, very quickly, another thing that is mentioned is helping aspiring athletes, professionals. So that's a little bit on the flip side, but I'm just curious about that piece of it.
So Andrew and my focus in the mountain biking world is downhill mountain biking. So it's, you know, there's a couple of different focuses, but I guess in any mountain biking, actually in any sport, when you start to aspire to be a professional athlete, there's a lot of work and money and time and transportation, equipment that comes along with that. Yeah. And if you can imagine people or individuals that can't afford a bike or haven't had the opportunity to have a bike, then that's just a whole nother universe of inability to participate. When we first started conversations, before it was Mutt Society, there was a young gentleman, Jake, that went to the mountain that we always went to, that was an excellent rider, but didn't have any of the right equipment, wasn't supported at all. And so that's kind of where that idea came from. Mm-hmm. And since then it's grown from that. We have a whole crew of ambassadors, so they're just young kids wanting to spread the word, which is very cool. Some of them have ability or access, some of them don't. We kind of quietly help in that regard. And then we also sponsor a small crew of aspiring junior experts or junior professionals or expert professionals in the downhill space. So Transition Factory Racing is one that is completely in line with our ideals. Mm-hmm. And so we do an annual support of that team as well.
So that all sounds just so cool. I'm not any sort of a professional biker by any means, but I love learning more about it. And I do have to wrap it up in a moment, but is there anything else that I hadn't mentioned you wanted to say?
I don't think so. I think if anybody wants to help, it would be incredible. Like I said earlier, we don't stress about very much. We try to just keep it pretty casual, but the more we have, the more we can do. And I really appreciate the time today. Thank you.
Of course, and I appreciate you coming down to make the time. And once again, I'm Danny Vittori. This has been the Lynn Lowdown, and we'll see you next week with more guests. Next up, the community calendar. From the 23rd to the 25th, residents can jump from one event to the next. First, Kayak and Sail Lynn will team up with the North Shore Juneteenth Association for a fun event on the water on the 23rd from 4 to 7 p.m. Come see KSL's newest edition, the Boston Whaler, and take a spin on one of their kayaks if you're so inclined. For those who wish to remain on dry land, there will be origami boat making, music, and pizza on the harbor right next to the Lynn Ferry. Next Saturday, the 24th, head down to Red Rock Park for the 2024 Diversity Matters Festival, hosted by the North Shore Juneteenth Association in collaboration with Save the Harbor, Save the Bay. This event offers attendees a chance to explore the diverse culture of Lynn through food, music, and dance performances, highlighting the importance of diversity in the city while showcasing all they have to offer in a variety of disciplines. And keep that party going with the third performance of the 2024 World Music Concert Series featuring Zahili Zamora and her band. Spend an afternoon being immersed in a fusion of Afro-Cuban jazz, original compositions, and American classics. This concert is free and family-friendly, beginning at 3 p.m. at Common Park. Presented by Access Culture and made possible by a grant through the Lynn Cultural Council and Massachusetts Cultural Council, come for a show of music, culture, and community. That wraps up our news from the last 2 weeks. As we approach the primary, stay up to date on the 2024 election, including a live show the night of September 3rd by visiting lyntv.org. For staff and member content, from events to sports to local organizations, head to Lynn Community Television on YouTube. And follow us on social media at Lynn Community Television for breaking news, press releases, and more. I'm Danny Vittori, this is LCTV News, and we will see you next week.
This episode of the LCTV News is brought to you by Encompass Health, North Shore Community College, Leo Inc., Brotherhood Credit Union, and Deolis Brothers Construction.